Baker is a native of Birmingham, Alabama. He's in his third year as defensive coordinator at Tulane. He also coaches outside linebackers for Willie Fritz. He spent 5 years at Georgia Southern prior to coming to Tulane and served previously as the defensive coordinator at Central Missouri. He also served as an assistant at Memphis and Arkansas State. He played at Silver City High School in New Mexico and at Evangel University. Tulane will host SMU Saturday, October 20th after an open week at Yeoman Stadium. Please give a warm Quarterback Club welcome to Coach Jack Curtis of Tulane University. Jack.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be able to come and speak to you. I tried really hard to speak to you last week after the Memphis game. I really wanted to speak after that game, but it didn't work out. I couldn't switch it. I wanted to kind of talk to you about where we're at right now. We're halfway through the season. We're played 6 games. We're at the midpoint. We've got 6 regular season games remaining, and we've been in some really close ball games. We've had the number 13th toughest schedule in the country. Our opponent has their win-loss record from our opponents is 27-8, and it's been tough. And we've been in some of those ball games, had opportunities, with the Wake Forest game going into overtime and losing that one in overtime. Real close game against UAB, and then of course we played Ohio State, maybe one of the top 4 teams in America. We'll see how that goes. But and then last week we played another really good team with Cincinnati. So those are our losses, and it's been very, very tough. The good news is the next 6 remaining games, their overall winning record and versus their losses is 16 wins versus 15 losses. So the schedule gets a little bit easier. There's 2 teams on the other side that we're going to have to play that are also doing extremely well, and that's South Florida being undefeated, and then Houston is 4-1. So we've gotten 2 wins. We got to figure out some way to get 4 of the next 6 to get us in a bowl game, and that's one of our biggest goals is to make that step up and get to a bowl game. I really feel it's going into the 3rd year that we've improved tremendously, and you keep waiting and waiting for it to come in the form of some more wins, and I think it is. I think it's going to come. So defensively, I think we've improved quite a bit, even though we're playing just a huge number of freshmen. A lot of them are true freshmen. We only have 6 seniors on defense and 6 juniors. The rest of the whole defensive team is either freshmen or sophomores. So we're very, very young, and the future does look extremely bright. For instance, against Ohio State, we played 132 snaps of true freshmen in that ball game. 130. That's a lot of snaps for a true freshman to play in that kind of competition. Lou Holt said this one time. He said, "For every freshman that you start is a loss." I hope that's not true, but we got a bunch of freshmen out there playing, and they're getting a very valuable experience, and you really can. You can see them improve each and every day that they go out there. Our nose tackle, Jeffrey Johnson, he's going to be a fantastic player. He has a huge upside and may be able to play at the next level one day. Jeffrey, he's 325-pound true freshman nose tackle. His backup is a true freshman that's playing. A couple of our ends that are now seeing playing time are true freshmen. Even our sophomores, they weren't able to redshirt last year. They played as true freshmen. One of them, Cam Sample, he started as a true freshman for us last year. We go up to Oklahoma. He's playing against the best offensive tackle in the country. Cam is still 17 years old playing against him. He hadn't turned 18 years old yet. So he turned 19 years old, I believe it was just last week. He ought to be in the freshman class. So again, we're that young of a football team, and especially on defense. And I really can see the improvement. One of the areas that I think the biggest noticeable improvement is that we're able to start generating some pass rush. Just in the last 3 weeks, against Ohio State, we had 3 sacks. Memphis, we had 7 sacks. Cincinnati, we had 3 sacks. So we've had 13 sacks in the last 3 weeks, and that was kind of a sticking point in the early seasons when we weren't able to generate that kind of pass rush. due to a number of reasons. Some of it was depth and being able to get fresh guys out there playing. So we're doing that, and a lot of them are true freshmen. I think we're going to keep seeing improvements. That are going to, as it keeps going on and on, we got to mature quickly as a football team, especially these last 6 weeks, and see if we can find a way to win a few more football games. Not only are we young at the D-line, we're also young in the secondary on the most part. We've got 2 veteran players that are playing extremely well, Rod Teamer and then Donnie Lewis. And then after that, it's a lot of first-time players that are playing out there. So the thing I guess I could be most proud of with our defense right now is haven't seen any kind of quit in them. I see the excitement to get better. They believe in what we're doing. The attitude is good, and I think we're going to continue to grow. I think we're at a great point in the season where we needed an open date, kind of get back, get healed up, get refreshed again. We got SMU coming in, and we kind of owe those guys a little bit. Felt like they stole one from us at the end of the year last year. That kept us from a bowl game. So I think our guys are going to be extremely excited about playing and getting after SMU. So if anybody has any questions, I'll go ahead and open it up at this time. Especially if you've got any questions from 2 weeks ago against Memphis, I'll be happy to answer those too.
Hey, Coach, I didn't get a chance to see the game, but I noticed that McMillan had a much better day. Did he replace Banks, or did Banks get hurt?
No, they're, and again, I'm really the wrong person to ask this. I do know this: they were rotating series. They would go 2 series, and the next quarterback would come in 2 series, and go back and forth. I think McMillan did get more snaps. They stayed with him. He got a little bit of a hot hand there for a moment, and hit a touchdown pass to Darnell Mooney, and then they kept him in a little bit more after that pass. But I don't know exactly what the plans are there, if they're going to continue to rotate or how that's going to play out.
Yeah, Coach, I agree. The team is, over the last 3 years, has improved greatly, and thank you for that. As a lifelong Tulane fan, Kenny Trahan wrote an excellent story last few days about the situation Tulane as it is right now, and kind of what Bobby just touched on about a possible quarterback controversy. And I think Banks is good, and he last year he played with fire in his belly. It kind of looks like he may have had what they call senioritis. I don't know. Where you look at McMillan, he's got a chip on his shoulder to prove, look, I'm a starting Division I quarterback. I don't think I got a fair shot. I'm gonna take that extra hit, take that little risk, stay in the pocket a little bit longer, put my head down a little harder. I don't know. It just seems like Banks just lost a little bit from last year, and that McMillan, when you play with a chip on your shoulder, because if you look at his Twitter from after the Memphis game, when he threw his first touchdown pass, all his buddies from LSU were tweeting him and congratulating him, and he loved it. So anyway, it just seems the quarterback controversy. What do you think?
And again, I don't know if there's a controversy or not. The thing that you would want to see, and being a college football fan and coach, you're watching college football. The model you want to look at is what Alabama has done with their 2 quarterbacks, and it seems to be those guys pull for one another, and they're in it together. They're staying as a team, and that's what you got to have. You certainly don't want to shy away from competition. Competition is going to make you better, and it's going to improve Banks or improve McMillan, and hopefully improve both of them. We gotta start clicking a little bit as a whole unit with the defense and special teams, and on the offensive side of the ball. When sometimes it hits and then it starts going for you, and we haven't got that consistent play out of all 3 phases yet, and that's what we got. We got to hunt and find that, and find it real quickly.
Hey, Coach, when you play a lot of freshmen on this level, do you have to temper your expectation a little bit, or how long does that maturation thing or whatever take to actually happen?
It's out there in practice, and it's happened to me with the freshmen, and you get after him, and then you got to remind yourself, hey, this is a freshman. And so I went to him after practice. I got on a couple of them real hard, and I said, look, you're a freshman, and you don't know it all yet, but I can't treat you as a freshman because the expectation of you as a starter has got to be better than that. So you got to expect more out of them. They got to grow up quickly, but it does affect some of the things that you're able to do. There's no replacement for a veteran football team. I mean, those guys, they know, and they know how to play hard, and they know what's expected of them. And sometimes as a freshman, they usually are some of the best players on their high school team. Things came a little bit easier. Now they got to work harder, and sometimes that level of play is not where it needs to be. They have to learn how to up it. The talent's there, but they got to get it and rise to another level. But it's happened where we can get frustrated with them, and you kind of got to remind yourself, hey, this is a freshman, and he's doing a good job, but he hasn't been able to have that water going to the bridge. I know this. I was at Arkansas State for 8 years, and we had a run of draft picks there that I think we were the #1 college of mid-majors that had 11 draft picks in a row. Most of the guys that we had signed. The common denominator with all those guys is they were all redshirted. They were fifth-year seniors by the time they got there, and they were really good football players. That's when you're playing at your best, I think. Sometimes you're forced to play a lot of young guys, and I don't know, a lot of times they're not ready and they're forced into those situations. Thank y'all very much. I appreciate it.